Hi, welcome back. My name is Mwikali and I want to welcome you to this YouTube channel as we begin again on the business hour. I believe that the episodes we have had from episode 1 to episode 5, they have been beneficial to you as we talked about customer care, customer service, the 10 commandments of customer service, and also as we talked about winning your customers. And we finished on talking about the 5 C's of credit, the things credit or financiers check when they are giving you a loan. So today I want to go a bit further and talk about Chamas, because we are living in a decade where most of us are in Chamas and sometimes we don't understand what these Chamas are, what is expected of us, and what we are supposed to do so that the Chamas may be beneficial to us. Chamas, as they are referred to, this is where people come together, few people, many people, a certain number. They come together with a certain goal, intending to do something together, having a certain purpose to accomplish a certain goal in their lives. And most of the Chamas, they come together so that they may uplift their livelihood. They may come together and help one another when it comes to financial matters. They are also referred as micro-saving groups. And today I just want to indulge into talking about Chamas. Now, there's a few benefits of Chamas. Those who have been in Chamas, they know that they are benefited in one way or another. There are people who have never thought of getting into Chamas. And I believe by the end of this episode, you'll be able to make a proper decision about either you can join a Chama, because many people have been, their lives have been lifted through Chamas. Their lives have made a difference in their lives because Chamas are there to uplift one another. Number one benefit of Chama is that Chamas help people to pull resources together towards a certain investment. Remember, Chamas mostly they are made of people who are friends, people who are colleagues, people who are doing the same business. When they come together, they decide to pull some resources together so that they may put in a certain investment. Number two benefit of being in a Chama is that they provide a perfect avenue to boost savings. There are people who are not very good in putting savings together. There are people who are not very good in saving, even in banks. But you find that Chamas, most of the Chamas, merry-go-rounds, be checking on some of the different Chamas which are there in the country, is that they are able to pull, they help individuals to pull and boost their savings, to bring their savings together, make 20 bob, make 50 bob. I was challenged the other day to see a Chama which began with their members contributing 20 shillings, and so far they have done great. They have done great. Number three is people share investment knowledge and ideas in most of the Chamas. Most of people, you find that they have gotten great ideas. They have gotten business opportunities in their lives which have uplifted their lives through Chamas, because it is in Chamas where we share information. We share information about some tenders which are available. We share information about the business opportunities which are there. There is a deal which is coming out somewhere and we are able to share because we are in Chamas. They provide a diverse investment portfolio. And people pull their resources together, they put their money together, they are able to make even a decision of giving loans to one another. And so it is an avenue, because at the end of the period, which is set, as we are going to see, it is an investment by itself, and people are able to decide how they are going to share the benefits which come with Chamas. And then they come in handy in case of emergencies. There are those Chamas which are not very major, or you'll find most of the Chamas, despite of having an investment angle or goal, you find that they have some other emergency, they contribute other monies for emergencies, either in case of they have welfares in their constitution, whereby in case of death, in case of school fees, in case of sickness, in case of a court case, they are able to give you some money. And so some of them, they have come in handy in cases whereby we have emergencies among the members. Then people in Chamas, they are able to access some soft loans, cheaper loans, even without interest. There are groups where their focus is to do an investment. They have some money, some contribution which they contribute towards giving some loans to their members. And so you find that members can access very cheap loans or loans without interest at all. And so those are some of the benefits of Chamas. And if you are asking yourself, is it worthy to join a Chama? These are not the days when Chamas were only for women. We have men now, border guys. We have people who are working together with a certain focus. Guys who want to buy land, guys who want to buy matatus, who want to invest in transport, coming together and doing this together. So those are some of the benefits of chamas, and we cannot overlook what they do. I just want to talk about the types of chamas we have, especially in our country, Kenya. We have like 5 different chamas. The first chama is a merry-go-round. Now, in a merry-go-round is where people come together, friends come together, and they decide to contribute a fixed amount every month. And then this month we give the first person, and we go around. That every month somebody goes with a certain amount. That is a merry-go-round. That is number 1 type of a chama. We have number 2, which is an investment chama. Now, in investment chamas, this is where colleagues, friends, people who generally know each other quite well, they decide to come together with a more defined goal, and that is of investment. They decide that they are going to invest on a certain area, maybe purchasing land, as I have said previously, maybe buying a matatu, maybe putting their money in bonds, putting their money in shares. So that is number 2 kind of a chama, which are found in our country, Kenya. Number 3, we have the table banking chamas. Now, the table banking chamas exist for the sole purpose of advancing low interest loans or credit to their members. They contribute money, and out of where they are that day of the meeting, they are able to loan one another. So we come, we contribute our 5,000, 1,000, and at the end of the day, in the chama, we borrow at an interest. And then at the end of the year, or by with time, the amount they have been contributing, it grows. They can choose to do a certain investment or continue to do the table banking. So table banking is one of the chamas we have, and it is imekita mizizi katika nchi yetu at the moment. It is taking root in our nation and in our country. Number 4 type of a chama is the hybrid chamas. Now, these chamas, they double the 3 above. They come together, they decide that we are doing a certain investment, and then out of that, they also do a merry-go-round. You find that they have like the 3 in 1. They are doing a merry-go-round, they are doing the investment, and also they are doing the table banking. And you'll find most of the groups. So that there may be that excitement of coming to the chama every other time. We are not only talking about investment. Yes, we are contributing a certain amount for investment, but we are also at the moment giving some small loans through table bankings to our members. And also we have a merry-go-round where we decide that we are buying a certain thing, or we are giving some money every month to a certain person. The hybrid chamas, they have the 3. Then we have the single purpose chamas. Those are the chamas where they only decide that we are doing one thing. They are members, they are unified together for a certain objective. They don't do many things. They just decide we are going to do this thing, and this is our focus. And they choose on what they are going to do. It could just be we are going to be investing, contributing money and investing in buying plots. It could be we are deciding our group is only for merry-go-round. It's solely for one single purpose. And so those are the 5 types of chamas which we have experienced in this country. And as you choose, as you come together as friends, as you come together as colleagues, it's good for you to be clear from the word go. What kind of a chama are we getting into? Is it a merry-go-round chama? Is it an investment chama? Is it a table banking chama? Is it a hybrid chama? Or is it a single purpose chama? Now, on our next discussion, I just want to say that the strength or the standing of a chama is dependent on 3 key issues. The standing, the stamina, the staying of a chama is dependent on 3 things, which are very key, which are very crucial for any chama to stand. Number 1 is its legal framework. Is the chama registered? Do we share the same goals? Do we share the same objectives? Do we have a vision and a mission? Is it very clear? Is it registered with the legal firms in the country? Number 2 thing which is very important for a chama to stand is dependent on the foundation set when you're forming the chama. Why did we decide to come together? What is our objective? What is our vision and our mission? Why are we coming together? What is the end goal? Where are we going? And number 3, thing which is very important is the leadership and the quality of membership in the Chama. What kind of members do we have? What kind of leadership do we have? They say that the rise or fall of anything is dependent on the leadership. And so it's very important for us to understand that any Chama, for it to stand, leadership is very clear, is very important, and also the type of members, the kind of membership we are having in that Chama. I just want to go for the first one and talk about the foundation of a Chama. Now, a strong foundation of any Chama, it comes as a result of the type of members we're bringing on board. If we bring jokers on board, then the Chama will not stand. So in our Chama intake, it's very important for us to do proper intake. We get to understand, yes, we have come, it could be a vision, it could be a thought of one individual who has come up with the idea of forming a Chama. But what do you really want? What kind of people do you want? Because it requires serious people. Number two, very important thing in proper intake of a Chama is that as we take members, we must understand how many members do we want in this Chama. That is not cast on stones, but we need to know, where are we starting? How many members do we need for us to be able to sit down and make decisions and make a constitution? Because the other thing which is very important for any Chama is having a written and a working constitution. If a Chama does not have a written and a working constitution, because a constitution can be there, it can be written, but if it is not working, then it becomes very hard for any Chama to withstand the storms, because you'll be seeing some of the dynamics which every Chama, in one way or another, they will go through. So when those storms come, when that time when the Chama is going through that moment, the storming stages, you will see what makes a Chama stand is a constitution which is written, number one, and which is working. And when we talk about a constitution, those are the rules and the regulations which have to be followed, so that the objective of the Chama may be achieved at the end of the day. Then the other thing is just what I've said, the objectives of the Chama. When you talk about objectives, we are talking about what is that which we are putting our effort into so that we may achieve the goal. What is that we are planning to, what is that which we are planning to achieve at the end of the day? That is the objective. As we sit down, as we contribute our money, as we come together and take our time together, to unite together, to contribute that money, what is our goal? What is our focus? And then the vision and the mission of the Chama should be very clear. And when we talk about a vision is a statement which details where the Chama aspires to go. Where do you want to go in the next 1 year, in the next 5 years? What do you really want to achieve? And then a mission statement defines the Chama's business. What is our business as we come together? What will we be doing together as members of this Chama, and its objective, and how we will reach the laid down objectives. And so when we talk about a good foundation, is that foundation which we have discussed very well on the kind of members we want. Number two, the number of members we're going to have. Number three, the objective of the Chama. Number four, the vision and the mission of the Chama. When you get that right, then you are able to withstand in case of times of storms. Now, when you talk about we've talked about one of the key issues is having the right members in the Chama, and we say that having the right membership is very key for the standing of a Chama. Now, how do you know that you have the right people in a Chama, and what are some of the characteristics of a good Chama member? Because we don't want to waste our time. We don't want to come together, plan for what you're going to do, stick together, and then we have no direction. Number one, very key important characteristics is availability. A good member should be available when called upon. Most of the Chama, at their starting point, we usually encourage for meetings, possibly physical meeting if it's possible, so that people can know one another, so that people can understand each other. It becomes easy where it's a or it's an environment where the Chama is formed by colleagues or family members, at least in that area, we know one another. But when we call for meetings, when we discuss on something to be done, a good member should be able to avail themselves, avail their ideas, get involved in the activities of the Chama. Number 2 key thing is faithfulness. A good member, we say a member is a good member of a certain Chama if they are faithful to adhere to the laid down rules and regulations of the Chama. If somebody is not faithful from the word go, then you need to remove them and exchange them with somebody else. And these are some of the things which we really need to look at the starting point, because if we don't get it right from the foundation of the Chama, then we lose it. And remember, most of the Chamas, they are involved in money. So if we don't get it right from the word go, we lose money, we lose trust, we lose friendship, we lose investment. There's so much if you don't get it right from the word go. Then the other thing is, as we talk about faithfulness, how faithful are they even in giving money, in their contribution? Number 3 key thing is honest. How honest is our member? A good member should be able to give the right information from the word go. Should be able to understand that we are here for a common goal. We are here for a certain goal, which, unless we are honest with one another, unless we give the right information, then we'll get lost on the way. And then number 4 thing, which is very important, is discipline. If we don't have disciplined people, if we don't have obedient people, disciplined people, let me just stick to discipline. If we don't have disciplined people, then we lose it from the word go. And so a good Chama, a member of a Chama, should be somebody who is disciplined. And then number 6 thing, should be obedient. Obedient to follow the rules. Obedient to listen to the direction being given by the leadership of the Chama. Obedient to be able to do what is stipulated in the constitution. And lastly, and not the least, very important in any Chama, is that there should be respect. We say a member is good. A member of a Chama is a good one, has a good characteristics if they are respectful. They are able to respect one another either in the Chama, despite of your position, despite of who you are in the society, that we are able, because we have come together for a certain goal, then we should be able to respect one another, despite of how much I'm contributing, despite of how many other investment you have. You are here in this Chama because of one goal, which you have agreed. And so we should respect one another, we should respect our constitution, we should be able to respect even the leadership which you have set apart and said, these are the guys who are going to lead us at this time. That's it about the characteristic of a good Chama member. Should be faithful, should be available, should be honest, should be disciplined, should be obedient, and should be respectful. And then just at this time, I want us to understand that when you come together, there are the rights which every member has in a group or in a Chama. And it is good to embrace these rights, because we have Chamas which have not achieved their goals because they don't even understand why they are there. What are some of the rights which a Chama member has? Number 1, a Chama member has a right to ask questions concerning various aspects of the Chama. There's an investment we are planning to do. I have a right to ask questions. I have a right to dig deeper for the benefit of the Chama, not to complicate things. And there are people who will ask questions because they just want to complicate issues, or they're just negative. They're just negative. There is nothing. They will always query everything, even where there are no questions. But I have a right to ask questions, and I have a right to be answered. I have a right to be told this is what we are doing. Number 2, very important thing is a Chama member has a right to contribute in all discussions during the meetings. I have a right to give my view. I have a right to say it the way I view it. And then number 4 thing is that a Chama member has a right to vote on issues concerning the Chama. I have a right to vote. in case there is a discussion which has come up and which will require voting, then a Chama member has a right. Every Chama member, as long as you're a registered member, you've followed the constitution, you are there. The reason why you are there is because you are a Chama member, and so you have a right to vote. And then the other thing is that a Chama member has a right to elect leaders. And then lastly, and not the least, a Chama member has a right to share in the Chama's benefits. We agreed to contribute this. At the end of the year, we are dividing this as our dividends, as our benefits. Every Chama member has a right to share that. So we have said number one, which is very important. We have talked about the foundation of Chama, where we need a constitution, the proper intake, and now we've talked about a Chama member and what we call a right, the rights of a Chama member, and also the characteristics of a good Chama member. So that has been our introduction today on our episode 1 of the Chamas. As we talk about the Chamas, I choose to end there today. We have talked about the benefits of Chama, talked about the different types of Chama which we have in this country. We've talked about the Chama Foundation as one of the key important things which will make a Chama to stand in times of turmoil, in times of storms. And then we have talked about the characteristics of a good Chama member, and then we have finished by the rights of a Chama member. So I choose to end there. I pray that you may subscribe to my YouTube channel, because next we'll be talking about responsible leadership as the number 2 very important key thing for Chama to be able to stand. When we talk about leadership, what are we talking about? So till next time, thank you so much. Have a great time, and God bless you.